Hello, everybody, and welcome to another amazing episode of Keever's Place, the KeeverMurdaugh Show and podcast. Yes. So tonight, I'm so excited. We have a amazing show for you tonight. It is our very first guest reunion show, and we are bringing on guests from season 1 and season 2. So we are going to catch up with them, find out a little bit about what they have going on, what they thought about being a guest on Keever's Place, the KeeverMurdaugh Show and podcast, and just chit chat and have a good time. So listen, don't go anywhere. I promise you, you do not want to miss this show. So stay tuned.
Welcome to Keever's Place, the KeeverMurdaugh Show and podcast. We hope that by the end of our show, you're left feeling empowered, motivated, and connected. So come on in the room, grab your favorite drink, sit back, and enjoy the ride, because you're finally at home at Keever's Place. Now give it up for our host and producer, Coach KeeverMurdaugh.
Thank you so much for joining us on Keever's Place, the KeeverMurdaugh Show and podcast. So we have about 10 guests who is joining us tonight. So I'm going to play a brief introduction and tell you a little bit more about them, and we're going to get this thing popping, okay? So let's meet our guests.
Welcome to Keever's Place Guest Reunion Show. I'm your host, KeeverMurdaugh. Now meet our guests. Dr. Vanessa Dunn Guyton, Tor White, Zuley, Janeen Tedford, Doreen Lettsome Reid, Steinberg, Sonya Wilson-Bailey, Kymlah Burton, Jaunique Mader, Kobi Martin, Kellina Powell, TeKeisha Wade, Gerald C. Join us this Thursday, July 15th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Keever's Place.
And welcome back. So let's go ahead and bring our guests on the stage. So the first guest that I will be bringing on the stage is Mr. Zuley. Mr. Zuley, let me tell you a little bit about him. He's very well connected and he has a lot going on. So Mr. Zuley is a 14-time award-winning entrepreneur. He's a 4-time best-selling author, actor, producer, founder of the Easy Way Wall of Fame with over 250,000 guest visitors per month. His network reaches 400 million homes, and his foundation raised over $14 million for charity. So let's bring Mr. Zuley up on the stage. How are you?
Hey, Keever, I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me on. I love this reunion show idea. I'm going to steal it from you.
You can have it. Our next guest that we will be bringing on the stage is Miss TeKeisha Wade. Miss TeKeisha Wade is a coach. She's a woman that has a lot going on as well. She's an author. She's a new upcoming author. She's going to tell you a little bit about that. She just launched a new magazine called She Magazine. Yes. And she also have a coaching show coming up. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that as well. But welcome back, Miss TeKeisha Wade. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. I love you so much, Keever.
Not a problem. Thank you so much for coming back. Our next guest that we'll be bringing to the stage is Mr. Steinberg. He is a masterpiece in progress who stands 4'6" tall on wobbly legs. He holds a microphone with a metal hook, and he is a man with a unique message. So welcome, Mr. Steinberg.
And thank you for having me, Keever. I'm so delighted to be here. It's going to be a great show, and I'm honored that you invited me.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Glad to have you. The next guest that I will be introducing to you is Miss Kobi Martin. Miss Kobi Martin is an advocate for those who are mentally disabled, and she has a powerful message and a very traumatic story, but yet a powerful story, because she is one woman who has turned her traumatic experiences into purpose and power. So I'm so happy to have her join us tonight. Miss Kobi Martin, how are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for asking. So glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us for our first reunion show as well. Our next queen that I will bring up is Miss Doreen Reid. She is a powerful woman who has a wonderful tour coming up that we will be discussing a little bit later on in the show. So she has a show called The Kingdompreneur Connection. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But she is a woman who is just so passionate about helping other women. So let's go ahead and bring Miss Doreen Lettsome Reid to the stage. How are you?
Well, better that I'm here with you, Kiva, of course. I'm at Kiva's place. Where else would I be tonight?
Okay, thank you so much. I'm super excited to have you join us. Our next queen that I will introduce to you is Miss Kellina Powell. She comes all the way from Canada, and she is an advocate for the deaf community. So let's introduce to you Miss Kellina Powell. How are you? How are you?
I'm super good. I'm super good. I'm super to be here. The show's gonna be crazy, and yeah, super excited.
We are super excited to have you. Thank you so much for joining us again. Our next guest we're going to introduce to you is Miss Vanessa Dunn Guyton. And if you are on social media, if you know anything about sexual assault, this is the powerhouse behind all of that. She is the advocate for sexual prevention and sexual awareness. She is the author of several books, and she has a show also called Hush No More. That's her whole foundation, is Hush No More. So we're going to bring to the stage Miss Dr. Vanessa Dunn Guyton. How are you, Queen?
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome to have you. Next, we're going to bring to our virtual stage Pastor Gerald C. Lewis. He is the author of several books. He's about to launch his third book, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that as well. He's a pastor, and he's locally right here in Columbia, South Carolina. So welcome back to the stage, Pastor Gerald. How are you? Pastor Gerald, can you hear us? So we will come back and check his sound. And finally, we have Miss Kymlah Burton, she has a magazine as well. And she also just recently launched her own podcast. And I am a proud columnist in her magazine. So we're going to definitely talk briefly about that as well. So let's bring to the stage Miss Kymlah Burton. How are you?
Hi, hello everyone.
Awesome. Well, everybody, let's jump right into it. Thank you so much for just being a guest on our first guest reunion show. I'm super excited. I'm so excited I can't even talk. Like, I need to slow down. The excitement is real. So thank you guys again. So let's go ahead and dive right into the show. I'm going to just pretty much ask a question and you can just dive in. So the first thing I want to know is, how was your experience being a guest on our show? Let's just talk about that right quick.
Well, Keever's Place is very professional. You handle your persona and your reasoning, behind your show very professionally. And so that's the first thing that comes to mind when being a guest on the show. Plus your smile lights up a room. You just really enjoy it, Keever. You know what I mean? Like you think that there's a denting commercial going to be coming on every time your intro comes on, because you know what I mean? Like you just love doing what you do because you know what your platform can do for other people.
Thank you so much, Eric. That really, really, really means a lot. Thank you so much.
Eric, there aren't many of us who even know what dentine is.
I know, right?
For sure. Hey, my experience with Keever's Place was fun. It was a great place. You made being funny and made sharing easy. And for a guest, that's a hard place to be because you never know what the host is going to be like that very first time. But you kept it relaxed, you kept it entertaining and fun, and we had some good laughs. And it was a real pleasure being on your show.
Thank you. Yeah, it is my pleasure.
Well, I'll say this, Keever, you are on our networks, our distribution, and, we've gotten a lot of responses. People have actually reached out and said that they like the vibe, how do we get on? And that's the thing is if you do get responses, I don't care if you get one response, that's a win in podcast and streaming, but you have had a couple of responses and we've put you out on Roku, Apple, Amazon, DirecTV, and a couple other things. And so, Keever's Place is the place to be if you want to get out there.
And that means a lot because this show is bigger than just me. It's really a place for people to be able to connect and get to know each other. And it's really important for, my guests, because once you're on my show, you are no longer a guest. You are family. You're a family of Keever's Place, the KeeverMurdaugh Show and Podcast. And I sincerely mean that. And let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about, because many of us on here are coaches of some capacity, right? And it's really important that we push the message of collaboration and not competition. So when I say that, when you hear that collaboration versus competition, what does that look like for you, and how does that resonate with you?
Well, it's everything. I mean, I don't want to be the only one on camera, so if anybody wants to take over the mic, by all means. But I mean, your questions are resonating with me, so I'm just like jumping on. I feel like I'm the one hitting the buzzer. My hand's like, I got this.
I appreciate the engagement.
but the collaboration versus competition. Collaboration is how you win. Competition is how you lose. And too many people right now are trying to look at people at competition. We build our entire empire and everything that we have off of collaboration, off of making it a win-win-win-win. And it's how you win, and not only how you win, but how your clients win. Because when you collaborate with other people, you tap into other followings, other communities, other networks, other opportunities, other situations. And as a coach myself, and I'm sure everybody else on the screen would agree that it's really about your client first and foremost. And that's one of the things I believe that really makes it a win for your client as well as yourself.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with them, because what we fail to realize is that each one of us brings an exclusivity and a uniqueness to each and every one of our individual areas. When we realize that, we can see that there is no competition there. Why would there be competition if what I do is unique, if what I offer and what God has given me is exclusive? And when we see it from that standpoint, we don't see the other people or the other person or the other organization or that other entity as competition. We see that if we collaborate, I bring something to the table, they bring something to the table, and each part of what we do is so unique and so niched that when we bring it together, then now we're able to reach a larger audience. We're able to put our products in front of people that we would have never been able to put them in front of before. We're able to spread the gospel in ways that we never thought we'd be able to, because those people have people that I'm not connected to, and I have people that they're not connected to. But when we come together, we all connected to each other. So just hold on and embrace the exclusivity and the uniqueness that God has given each one of us, and there is no competition.
There's actually a verse of scripture that says that how can two people walk together unless they be agreed? And that's the difference between collaboration and competition. Collaborators agree. They work together toward a common goal, and they move together toward a common goal. One of the unique things about being on your show, Keever, was that after we were on, you followed up by making sure I had some contacts of pastors that would be good for me to be in front of and would be good for them to share my ministry. And you don't get that in a competing situation. Competition says, I'm better than you. Collaboration says, I want to walk with you. And I want to be with you.
That's good. That's really, really good, because when Kiva was talking, that's what came to mind. And I know Kiva doesn't mind me sharing how we first met. We actually first met in a training session with Dr. Nikita Davis. And because of something that I shared in that training, she reached out to me, and then we just began to build and start making history. And so, you know, she recognized my gifting and I recognized her gifting. We just began to talk. And, you know, even now we're in the midst of building something very unique together. Here again, using her strengths, using my strengths, we're able to come together. And so what I believe is we complete, we don't compete. We can get so much more done. And just being here tonight, back in the room with so many women that I already know, and then being connected with people I don't know. And then that is just added value. And that's what we should always want to bring to the table in whatever we're doing, making sure that we're here to serve, not be served. Let me say that again. We are here to serve, not be served. And collaboration is that mindset that I'm here to serve, not be served.
Right. And I agree, Ms. Doreen, I agree. When I hear collaboration, I hear action, together, togetherness, connecting together, to work together, to come as one, togetherness, to bring out a specific type of outcome. And that is to help and bring people in to see the kingdom. You know, we're kingdom citizens, we're kingdom entrepreneurs, and we want people to see what it looks like on the other side, which is the kingdom. And when you collaborate and when you compete, what are you doing? You're competing. Competition is competing. You're competing. It's like I'm competing to get to the kingdom when we all are kingdom citizens. So when I hear that word collaboration, I hear connect. I hear action of working to collaborate to build a better community. And Kiva, you know, when I was on the show with you, it was so Holy Spirit filled. It's so Holy Spirit filled now. I'm trying not to bring out the minister in me because I want to preach. That's how it feels when you connect to someone who belongs to the kingdom and want to see you grow. Not just her, she wants us to grow. That's what I see. And I thank you. I love you so much. You are my sister. And thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Y'all are not going to get me crying on this show tonight, okay?
When you say collaboration, I truly think of you because we met at a vendor event and it has been really good since then. You came on my show, I came on your show, you've been on my show twice. This is my second time on your show. Like, that is collaboration. My philosophy is when one blow up, we all blow up. One team, one fight. And so I'm always trying to promote somebody else because as I'm promoting you, it's a natural way to promote me. I'm sitting back, but it's a blessing. And so I believe as we help each other, it helps all of us. And so that's what I feel when I come on your show and how I feel about you. And just to know the commonalities that we both have, we both feel the same way. And so I just think that's phenomenal. And I'm truly honored to be part of your network.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let's shift gears right quick. So pet peeves, because we all have pet peeves, right? So Kellina, let's talk about one of your pet peeves, either in business or personally. Can you hear us?
Okay, can you hear me? Okay. I would say my biggest time when people think that I won't be able to hear, like they'll be extra and they're like, oh, can you hear me now? And so that was one of my between people overreact a little bit too much when I tell them like I'm deaf, and I was just like, no, it's okay. Like then you guys normally and people try to make can hear, but I'm my biggest pet peeve.
So you were breaking up a little bit, but it does sound like one of your pet peeves is when people cannot hear you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right. What about you, Kobi? Any pet peeves?
I'm normally a person where just about everything gets on my nerves. I hate to admit that, but one of my pet peeves, and I really have to work on this, and I have been doing a better job, is that I'm uncomfortable repeating myself. So a lot of times when I speak to people, I try to speak clearly, slowly, and in terms that they can understand to avoid me having to repeat myself.
Would you say that again, please?
You heard me, Jeff. So that is definitely one of my pet peeves, and I'm trying to get better because even myself, I have some hearing loss in one of my ears, and so I practice not saying, what did you say? Because when people say that to me, it's irritating. So I'm working on it, but that is definitely one of my pet peeves.
You know what? I never thought about that because I am actually losing hearing in my left ear. But, I think I'm doing pretty good. But my husband trips me out sometimes. It gets on my nerve because he's complaining that either I'm too loud or I have the TV too loud. I tend to forget that not everyone around me is losing their hearing. So,
yes, yeah.
Miss Kymlah, we haven't heard from you yet. How are you? So she's on mute. So let's talk about pet peeve. What is one of your pet peeves? Because we all got them. So what's one of your pet peeves, either in business or personal?
I will say business. One of my biggest pet peeves is people not taking my business seriously. We work hard to get where we are. We work hard to build our brand, build ourselves, build our businesses. And to others, it's an afterthought. And I know we have to work just as hard, work harder because it belongs to us. But I guess I know now how it feels to a store owner when you go in the store and you just walk around, you're not going to buy anything, but you just walk around wasting time, asking questions, wasting their time. And then you turn around and walk out the store, I don't know. I'm learning that everybody is on their own journey. So what is important to me is not important to everybody else, but that is a really, really big pet, especially with me because I have so many different businesses and so many different ventures going on. So yeah, wasting my time is a huge pet peeve for me.
I think we all can relate to that. And not only that, when you have to convince or try to project to other people, why you're doing things the way that you were doing it, why your business is important, because a lot of people see your business as a little business, or, you're doing this little book, or, you're doing this little project. And there is nothing little about what you have going on, because what people don't realize is it's a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that we value each other, Keever, and some of it is intentional and some of it is unintentional. Mm-hmm. But I appreciate the young lady, the CEO of her company, speaking up for us, because that is very hurtful. And I think what you was intending to say, and I'm just going to come out and say it real straight and raw. We are trying to convince you of our value. We're trying to convince you that our prices are our prices. And then you're saying, well, no, I'm not doing that. And, we're trying to convince you. And here lately, I've been in some trainings where, I have to make myself understand that I set the standard. if your moral value is not in line with my moral value, then you're not for me.
Mm-hmm.
But someone out there wants what I have, and God will send them to me. I'm not going to have to continue to convince you that what I'm doing is valuable, that my time is valuable, you know. And a lot of people say, well, are you going to follow up? Okay, at what point do I continue to follow up with you? You already know what you want to do. You have to take the control and make sure that you're following up. When we go to McDonald's, we know we want the fries. I mean, it's just obvious. That's why we're there. We don't sit in the drive-through hemming and hawing. No, we end up probably ordering 5 fries instead of 1, right? Because we see the value. That's what we want. That's why we're there. And I just appreciate the young lady for just being honest, because I have felt that way. And even though I've been doing this for 12 years, like she said, it's always learning. But I just appreciate you for saying that, because that was a confirmation for the training I was in last week. And I just want to, I don't know your name, ma'am, but thank you for just speaking that, because I think it's just people not valuing us as kingdompreneurs.
Yes.
Exactly.
Perfect. Mm-hmm.
I think that has a lot to do with your branding, though, and how you position your business. You know, how you position the way you want people to perceive you, to value you. I think it has a lot to do with you know, what you've done with your business. And when people do the research, you know, that's a matter of how they're going to, because people are going to come up with their own evaluation of your value, you know. And so you have to position your business right to get that respect, I think. So I just wanted to throw my opinion on that.
Exactly. So let's talk about.
So ask me what my pet peeve is.
What's your pet peeve, Mr. Jeff Steinberg?
My pet peeve is the cheapening of the gospel. I can tell you how many times I have been in places where somebody would get up to sing, and Pastor Gerald, you know this to be true, and they'll set a hymn book in front of them and they'll say, y'all pray for us as we try to sing. We didn't have time to practice, but we're going to try to sing for you. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, then sit down and let somebody get up who actually has some pride in the quality and the effort that they put down. Because the truth of the matter is, and I've told you this before, Keever, the least likely person can accomplish the most extraordinary thing in a most unique fashion. God uses the least likely person. And the fact of the matter is, I can't tell you how many times I've had people, I walk into a church, somebody pat me on the head because I'm only 4 feet 6 inches tall, and they'll say, bless your heart, and they want to lay hands on me to be healed. And I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to lay hooks on somebody else, you know, on them. The truth is, we've gotten so comfortable with the phrase, well, it's good enough for the gospel, and it's good enough for the church. Truth is, what Eric is doing, and it's a real pleasure to be with you, Eric, again, because Eric's given me a real push, and I really appreciate it. But what Eric is doing is saying to people in ministry, you can have a quality platform as long as you have a quality message and a quality presentation. But if you don't like who you are, if you look in the mirror and you don't see a masterpiece in progress, and you're telling God he got it wrong, then nobody's going to want what you have to say. Because the first thing you sell is yourself.
Well said.
Good.
Thank you, Jeff. It's always a pleasure to be. Thanks, Jeff. It's always a pleasure to be on screen with you. You and your hook, man. I'll put my fist up. You put your hook up.
There you go.
That's amazing that he said that, because mediocrity would be my most worst pet peeve. Would just be people being comfortable just exactly where they are, no matter, you know, what that is. It's always more to strive for. It's always better. And that's one of the things that I've been ruling out of my vocabulary lately is to, you know, one of my slogans is discover more. But recently, you know, the Lord has been really dealing with me with that. And now it's transitioning from discover more to discover better. because more doesn't necessarily mean better. So, when we look at more, that's quantity, but better is quality. So in looking at it from that standpoint, I'm to a point now where that mediocrity is mind-boggling when I see someone just stagnant and complacent and comfortable. And a lot of times I wish now that, if you go and do some research, you'll see that the speech that Martin Luther King was supposed to have read was called Mediocrity No More, but he chose to read I Have a Dream instead. And sometimes I wish he had done, even though I Have a Dream is a phenomenal speech, sometimes I wish he had done Mediocrity No More. I think it would have revolutionized a lot of people's minds and the way that they think, because he's one of the most instrumental voices that we've seen in a long time.
And Pastor Gerald, that whole mediocrity, that whole goal toward mediocrity spills over not only in the church, where you get this, well, we're a church, therefore we can't afford quality entertainment, or we can't afford to pay a preacher to come in or fly him in or whatever. And it spills over into fundraisers. Well, we're just a small nonprofit, but we don't realize the impact we can have by networking with business people, or networking with hotels, or networking with restaurants, or other such things, and bringing in the kind of quality. That's why I appreciate what Eric's doing. That's why I appreciate what Keever's doing, because it's not about how cheap can we get it done. It's about how can we get it done right. If it's worth doing, it's worth being good at it.
I gotta say,
go ahead, Eric.
I just got to throw in my pet peeve too. I want to let you talk though, Pastor, because I feel like God is talking through you. I don't want to interrupt that flow. But my pet peeve is, I'm going to say one word: disrespect. And there's so many different ways of what going in that direction. So, like for instance, if I'm doing a show and I send you a form and I have a certain format of how I want to do my show, and you don't actually follow the format and fill out a couple of things, you're too important, you're too busy, you can't actually fill out a form. To me, that's a little disrespectful, and it's messing up my show, and I can't promote you properly. If I'm doing an event and I'm putting you on a stage and I'm giving you a lot of respect, I'm giving you a lot of promotion, I'm giving you a lot of value, and you can't press a share button and tell your community about my stage and what I'm doing, I'm giving you all this value, that's disrespectful. I mean, I can go on and on this topic, but that would one word: disrespect. You gotta respect people when they're respecting you, and you get so much more. You hand someone one key, they open up 1,000 doors for you. So I think that anybody watching right now, if you're feeling me, go ahead and post your comments or whatever. If you've been disrespected, you'll post in the comments how you've been disrespected, what your pet peeve is. But you got to appreciate people's platforms and follow those guidelines.
I love it. That's exactly right. Which actually, well, before I pose my next question, let me introduce to you Miss Sonya Wilson-Bailey. She is just joining us. She had a prior engagement. She is also a coach, and she works with empowering women. So welcome, Sonya. Sonya, if you can turn your phone long ways, though. Turn it long ways. Okay, you may have to unlock your orientation, but that is fine. We are glad to have you.
And not hear you.
Can you hear us?
Thank you. I had to unmute my mic. Thank you. I'm on my tablet. We got a storm here, so the weather is bad. Sorry about being late.
It is storming everywhere, but we are glad to have you. So we were actually talking about pet peeves, which actually brings me to my next question. And then we're going to let our viewers know what you have coming up. Support. We heard a lot about pet peeves, and it sounds like the biggest thing is mediocrity. But what it basically sounds like is a lack of support. People not supporting you in, however that may look like pertaining to your particular business or your service or your product. So I wanted to ask you, if you could wave a wand and get the most support, of the best support from your clients, your family members, how would that look? What would that look like? Somebody fully supporting you, what would you require from them?
I would go after the biggest podcaster in the world that has the most followers, that are the most heart-centered type of people, because that's the market I'm trying to hit. So whoever is the biggest that has that type of target market, that type of demographic, I would want that type of support. And then obviously I get an amazing amount of support from my Easy Way family. You know, you, Keever, are part of the family. Jeff, Steinberg, all you guys are welcome to join it. But really everybody out there that presses the share button, you know, that's really what it's about. And then if I see you pressing the share button for me, I'm gonna press the share button for you, or I'm gonna invite you to come on the Easy Way Wall of Fame to support you. That's why we built that platform, is for support, you know?
Yeah, it's reciprocated. Yeah, love it. Anybody else?
For me, support looks like just telling someone what I do, because my service may not be for you, right? You may not need me, but I think sometimes in my field, people don't always share what we do because they think that maybe they are a victim, maybe they're domestic violence or they're sexual assault victims. So they don't always talk about or share an event, but just share it. And that is the biggest support, because you never know who needs us and the services that we provide.
Yeah.
And Dr. Dunn, you are absolutely right. With my organization advocating for survivors of sexual assault, paying close attention to disabled persons, people all around the world are hesitant to talk about sexual violence, assault, and abuse. And especially when it happens and occurs within their own homes. You know, they encourage everyone to speak up. You know, we say that we support until the person they're accusing is someone that you love. Until it's a brother, a cousin, a sister, an uncle, a grandfather, a father, you know, then they don't want to talk about it anymore. And they tend to go against the people who are reporting them. So you are absolutely right. It only takes a second to support our cause and our mission. A lot of times I get so frustrated if I post a picture of someone in a very nice outfit, which I would never do unless it was myself or my daughter. I'll get 300, 400 likes. But if I post a statistic about sexual assault and how it's killing us all silently, I'll get 5 likes, 1 or 2 shares. And so it's mind-boggling what people will support. And I know it's shameful. People don't want to talk about it, but your story may help just one person, just one.
And you know, Keever, I totally agree. Coming from a different spectrum, you know, yourself, Dr. Guyton, you all have written in Buttercon magazine, and it's so funny. The magazine is there as a free platform for people to share their gifts, share their talents, share their writings. And people will write in the magazine and then won't even tell their friends and family that they've written in there. And I ask them all the time, what is the purpose of pouring your heart out into an article or you advertising in a magazine and nobody knows about it because you haven't said anything? So that's my thing. Yeah, just even if you're just sharing it, if it's not for you, it may be somebody else that want to get something off their chest and want to write about it and want a platform they don't have to pay $100, $200 for.
Yeah, that is so true. And sometimes, Kymlah, you know, some folks, you know, are afraid to share or because for the fear of a lack of support. Yeah. TeKeisha, I think you had something to say about that.
Yeah, and I agree with you all. It's just sharing. You know, if you want to live, share that live. And word of mouth. You know, a referral system don't have to be a long sheet of paper or a website. You can be someone's referral system by letting someone know what they do. And I just want to piggyback off about the abuse. I am an advocate and I'm a coach for narcissistic abuse. As soon as I start stating and giving education about narcissistic abuse, which people suffer from, it is a part of domestic violence. People turn a blind eye to it and say, oh, we don't want to talk about that because everybody is always talking about someone is narcissistic. But what they don't realize, it is a big part of domestic violence that's silent. And then another thing, my He magazine, I do have a men's magazine for the everyday man. And I would love to see more men support each other and support it, because I can ask someone to be in He, and I got more women want to be in She, but when I ask about He, I get so many men, well, let me think about it, or let me, okay, I'm letting you know about this magazine, but this is about your everyday man. It's not the man that's, on there showing his muscles. This is showing what God created, the Adam. So that right there, I would love to see men engage a little bit more.
You know what? But that is so interesting, and I can't help but think about how many men are beaten down every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it has to be very difficult for them to feel as if they can empower or be an inspiration towards other men, because they don't believe that they are worthy themselves.
Right. Right.
But see, Kiever, that's and Keisha, that's exactly what I can tell you a little bit why men don't jump in here, is because a lot of men can't differentiate between who they are and what they do.
Okay.
How many times do you walk up to somebody and the first thing you say is, "Hi, I'm Jeff Steinberg, I'm a singer," or "Hi, I'm Eric Zuley, I'm a major TV producer." And the problem is that we forget that who we are is not what we do. God made us to be who we are. What we do is our choice. And I'm working on a book, shameless plug, but I'm working on a book that basically talks about the 5 questions that we don't ask if we really want to be successful in life. And the first one is, who am I? And finding my identity is important. My identity is not wrapped up in my vocation. That's what I do. My identity is that I am a child of God. I am someone who God gave, this is exactly, what you're doing, Keisha, is exactly what I'm talking about. Pastor, you've got a lot of people who have, they've clouded their vision of who they are because they're so locked into what they do and they feel like a failure. No man's a failure if he tries and if he honors who God made them to be. I can change occupation. I'm never going to change who I am. I'm always going to have an artificial arm. I'm never going to have arms. I'm always going to be 4 feet 6 inches tall. Besides, for all of you who are taller than 6 foot, I have one message for you. Good things do not come in tall packages. We've never heard it said. Truth is,
it's amazing that he says that, Kiever, because what men don't really understand is, okay, what am I if I'm not a father? What am I if I'm not a husband? What am I if I'm not an engineer? What am I if I'm not a pastor? What am I? Who am I if I'm not that comedian? Who am I outside of these things? Because I'm not the pastor. Yes, I am a pastor, but that's not who I am. Yes, I was a nuclear engineer in the Navy, but that's not who I am. Yes, I am a father, but that's not who I am. So it's getting to the root of who you are. And then that is the place of authenticity. And when you can find that authenticity, then now you have something that, again, that you present that is very unique, something that is very peculiar to just you, you know, and then that is what you share. That is who you are. That is who you become to the world. And it's the only way that you're able to affect change. And if who you are isn't bringing change, then you have to reevaluate, am I who I think I am? Because if I am who I think I am, then that person should be effecting change in everybody that we meet. Every time we meet someone, every time we put something up, it should be changing minds. It should be turning on light switches that people hadn't seen or didn't even know existed.
I love it. I love it. You wanted to add something to that, Sonya?
Yes, I did earlier. I just wanted to say that I am just grateful for this platform, for us to talk to one another and be able to share our feedback and input, because we all deal with different things on different levels. And the domestic violence, that is a topic that people don't want to talk about. Women being battered, men being battered. It's just as many men that are being abused by women just as much as it is as women. So it's a major crisis. And I think just having a dialogue and talking about it, things can be addressed, because a lot of times men, we women, we always have outlets. We always have places we can go to. We always have women that we can network and talk to. But a lot of times men are taught not to express themselves, not to voice their opinions about things with other men. And sometimes they hold that in. So I'm just glad that we have this platform. I know that I'm being called to women, broken women, and we have a lot of people that have dealt with all kind of trauma, all kind of levels of abuse. And if they never get to the root of that and never really address those issues that may have happened to them, even as children, they become as adults that still struggle. They may be in an adult body, but they still dealing with childlike tendencies because of whatever they've encountered. So I'm just grateful to be here tonight and just to hear the dialogue. And some support is an issue as well, but I think we're better together, and we'll be able to maneuver through it. But we have to keep the lines of communication open. Communication is the key to all things.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing, Kiever, if I can throw this in, we're talking about things, how we see ourselves, and when we mix our identity up with our vocation, and like Pastor Gerald was saying, we handicap ourselves. And Kobi, I'd like to suggest a definition for the word handicap that you're not going to hear anywhere else. And that is anything that keeps me or you from becoming all that God designed for us to be is a handicap. And it doesn't matter whether you've got two arms or whether you can be an engineer or a Navy rocket scientist or whatever, or a pastor. The truth of the matter is the things we do can handicap us as well. Our self-image can handicap us. And if you don't, it comes right back down to it. I'm not handicapped because I have no arms or because I wear an artificial arm. But I could handicap myself by not reaching forward and pushing forward to find my full potential. And that's the difference. And I've never dealt with political correctness anyway.
Hey, Kiever, before you move on, I just wanted to pose this. I mean, it's me, Eric, and Jeff that are on here. And I'm going to just ask this simple question. And that's Jeff, that's Eric. When was the last time you were complimented by a woman?
Does my wife count?
Well, yeah, your wife counts, but just in general, like these women, all of them sitting here right now, have been complimented by more than just their husbands or significant others on multiple times during the course of a day. But when was the last time you were complimented just out in public and a woman stopped you and said, "Oh, you smell great," or or just whatever, and it's one of those, it's those kind of things that really just, a man is already dealing with everything that he's dealing with in his life right now. He's trying to provide, he's trying to protect, he's trying to do everything that it is in his power to possibly do. A good man is anyway. And then you walk around and you wonder if you even exist sometimes. You wonder if outside of you providing and outside of you protecting and outside of you doing everything that it is that you're doing, is there a me? Am I appreciated? Am I thought of? Am I visible? And it becomes very, very hurtful and very hard for a man on a daily basis, because it's something as simple as a compliment that could change his whole day. He's not even used to getting compliments, so not just to get one would change the whole dynamic of a man's day, and it's something that I think women are afraid to compliment men, because a lot of men will take that compliment the wrong way, and they look at it as innuendos or whatever. But it's still one of those things where if men knew who they were, and sometimes it takes another person to really kind of help you see, who you are sometimes, and if not anything else, just lead you in a direction to discovering who you are. And a lot of men don't have that. They go around and they just do whatever, and they become whatever it is that they do, and they lose themselves.
So I think that the people that are watching right now take the takeaway for you is go and compliment your man, go and compliment your other half, and don't forget to do that. Don't forget to show that appreciation. I always talk about the power of appreciation. It's that next stepping stone, that next brick that helps you build that castle that you're trying to build. It's all about appreciation. So this is good to backtrack and think about that. And are you really appreciating your other half? Are you appreciating your community? Are you doing something to show that appreciation? So I think that word appreciation is something people should really think about.
And in line with that, it's important for men to know that the women in their life will stand up for them the way that he feels the need to stand up for her. Yeah. That's really important, because if you don't feel supported, then you feel like, well, I guess my job is to fix all the things that are wrong, to provide, to bolster everybody. But like you said, Pastor, then I feel invisible, or I feel unappreciated. I know my wife loves me, and she tells me that, and I know that, when she needs me to do something, it's not, I need you to do this. It's, can you help me do this? And she always shows me how appreciative she is of it. The other day, I'm sorry, I thought, go ahead, Jeff. The other day, my other half, and the way that this made me feel, and I feel what Pastor's what was saying. She told me, she goes, you're looking good today, sweetheart. Like, you're glowing. And then she actually gave me a compliment saying that, even though times get hard and people throw bricks at you, you always grab those bricks and somehow build a house with them, and that made me feel so good. I went and built another house. I went and closed another deal, like I went out and got it because so it's really important, actually. And you're right, Pastor. We don't get it enough. We give it more than we get it. And the older we get, the more inclined we tend to feel like we don't have what it takes. If we're not careful, we allow ourselves to feel inadequate to the job. Hence, my wife is throwing me a surprise 70th birthday party, August the 14th. If you all would like to come to Orlando.
Wait a minute.
A surprise
70th. And you already.
Well, when you travel, when you travel for a living, it's important for her to get you on her schedule to find out when you're going to be available. And
Jeff, who's turning 70?
Huh?
Who's turning 70?
I do. I will
no,
be.
You don't. No way. No way.
Yep,
no way you're turning 70.
Yep, I'll be 70 on August the 18th. So
you look fantastic.
On the 4th,
you look fantastic.
We're hosting a party, and families coming in to Florida. We're going to have a great time. But the point is, she came to me and said, we need to do this. And I thought, that's pretty cool, because we've gone to so many family members. You know, my mother, when she turned 90 and then 95, my uncle when he turned 100 and then 101. You know, the point is, everybody wants to feel valued and needed and necessary. Yes. And that's important, not just for kids, but for our adults. And elderly, Kobi, you're in the middle of this. The older folks tend to feel pushed aside, and they can be abused or taken advantage of for the same reason. Yeah. Because, you know,
that is so true.
Comment to give some balance. Pastor Gerald, I totally agree with you. When I speak to men, I talk to them about how you respond, that a woman is not always coming on to you and having those conversations. It's hard for single women to compliment a man when they come at you from a different perspective. So I think as men, it'd be very refreshing when you have the men conferences, when you have those conversations, to talk about that we do want compliments, but we can't receive them because the way we respond in our society to them. Because every woman that I meet, I say, hi, beautiful. I compliment every woman that I meet. But it's very difficult for me to do it for a man as a single woman. And so have this conversation with the men in the circle of how they respond to women. That's all.
But I do it when I meet women, and I'll say, hey, beautiful, or I see a guy, hey, good looking. We can't let society's political correctness dictate how we value each other.
That's not what I'm saying. But
I understand what you're saying.
Okay. But Dr. Vanessa, I want to chime in. I'm so glad Dr. Vanessa said that, because when I do reach out, because I had got to the point where I'm thinking I should get a virtual assistant that's a man, because when I reach out on my own to ask for them to come on the show or come, to just be a guest, or come and, be in the magazine feature, and I give them a compliment and I tell them, I see what you're doing. You are amazing. They look at me as a single woman that I'm trying to, some actually think that, oh, she's trying to come on to me. So now I'm like, oh my God, I'm scared to even ask guys, would they like to feature on the cover of He? I'm so glad you said that, Dr. Vanessa.
So, Coach, I won't feel that way, Coach.
What? You're all man, Pastor. So my question is, how can the single women offer their services? And I'm asking the gentlemen, and then we have to move on and wrap up. But this is so good. So how can the single women, what's their best approach to be able to extend their services without it feeling like a come on?
So I think that's all a matter of how you plant your seed and how you come across. If you come across like a professional businesswoman and you lay down the line, you know what I mean, like right away, and you don't do the rapport thing and the get to know you thing and make it feel like it's like right away, right up front, you're like, hey, I want to do business with you. This is what my business is. Boom, boom, boom. And you're like more kind of sharp and to the point. The man's going to perceive that as, okay, you want to do business. You want to get down to business, but if you approach me and you're like, hey, I'm loving this and that. And like, you're doing the rapport thing too much, then that's how I'm going to perceive that. Because you're not really talking business, you're more personal. So just get right to the business.
But think about it like this, though, because as women, a lot of us are groomed to start off with the rapport. You know what I'm saying? Because I can attest to this, which it really doesn't, sway me anyway. But when you are forward like that, especially being a woman, you can be viewed as being aggressive. You're too aggressive. You're this, you're that. So, I think it's a balance act, but, it's really important for you to know who you are, know what you're not going to stand for, and don't be afraid to quote unquote check people, and let them know that you are not, about that, craziness. But I saw your hand up, Sonya. Are you still there, Sonya?
What I was going to say is everything that yes, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. It may be some type of delay. But anyway, what I was going to say is this dialogue is absolutely amazing. From what Pastor said to the other two gentlemen, it is something that made me think when he asked that question, because I do that very well with my spouse. But how do I do that with my brothers? How do I do that with my dad? How do I do that with my neighbors? So I'm thinking that now, even though I do it, I feel like I can do it more frequently than I have been doing it. And I think so. We have to keep in mind that, just like Mr. Eric said earlier, we have to set the ground rules up front, because people have done stuff that has made it uncomfortable in certain aspects. But I believe with all of these professional women that's on this platform, I believe if we go to them, we tell them and be direct, I believe that they may, be perceiving us as, aggressive. But as long as we let the lines be drawn and keep them where they're supposed to be, then it eliminates any type of room for any misunderstandings.
I agree.
Well, the other thing to go off of your question, Kiever, is you can do the rapport. You can be nice up front. You can do what you normally are used to doing, as you were saying, but you can throw subtle hints. And this is more for people that are in a relationship that, like, hey, my other half, or my beautiful girlfriend, or my beautiful husband, or my handsome husband, something. So as we're listening to you talk, we're getting those hints that, like, okay, you're not really coming on to me. You're trying to do business. You're trying, so as you're doing the rapport, throw those little seeds in there to grow the shields of flirting. I guess you could say, like, just throw those little subtle hints that, like, look, I'm good over here personally, but I'm definitely interested in doing business with you over here.
One of the things that you said, Kiever, about pushing yourself and being perceived as being too pushy, I get that all the time. And when I get told that, I tell people, well, as I look behind me, I don't see anybody pushing me. So if I don't do it, it isn't going to get done. That being said, let me tell you just a real quick story. A number of years ago, about 11 o'clock at night, I called a pastor friend of mine, who was recommended to me. And I introduced myself and my ministry because I had an opening to be in his area in Massachusetts for my fall tour. He listened very patiently as I told him all about me, my ministry, what I do, what I have to offer. And then he waited until I stopped, and he said, "But are you any good?" And I had exactly 3 seconds to come up with the right answer. And my answer was, absolutely. That's why I get paid the big bucks. He booked me. He said to me, when we did the date, he took us out to lunch afterward, and I asked him, I said, "Why did you book me?" And his answer was very clear. He said, "I can't tell you the number of times I get called by singers, singing groups, speakers who want to come and minister in my church. And when I ask them if they're any good, 99% of the time they'll come up with some spiritually pious, overly whatever line that says, well, I'm not in it for the show, I'm in it for the ministry." And he said, when I asked you if you were any good, you said yes, and I had to know for myself. And I said, so what's the verdict? He said, when can you come back? The truth is, we don't value what we're able to do. I know what I'm good at. Eric knows what he's good at. Pastor knows what he's good at. Kobi knows what she's good at. But if you don't know not only what you're good at, but also what you're not good at, I'll never be a basketball player. And the truth is, and it doesn't matter that people call me hook shot. The truth is, it has nothing to do with basketball. You know, the point is, I recognize what I cannot do. I cannot dress myself. I cannot bathe myself. So I have to have somebody who can help me. And I surround myself with people who not only value me, but also value themselves. Giving someone a compliment isn't sexual unless you don't value yourself or unless you don't value that other person. And if they know you're coming in to do a job, then telling them they're doing a good job or that they look good won't be misinterpreted if you present yourself in the right fashion. Absolutely. But you have to know your limitations and you have to know what you're good at and what your handicaps are.
That's blaming. That's pretty much victim blaming the person that's being sexually harassed. Because I will tell you, I am the ultimate professional. I took my personal cell phone number off of my business card because of that, because people will call you with personal. And I'm all about my business and about changing the world.
Right.
And sometimes you can't control how other people treat you and respond to you, but you can respond how you know the right way. So I always do it from a very professional manner. But I start off that way too, and it does not matter. People will still try to approach you. So just think about it. It's not my fault.
No, and I was not trying to suggest that it was your fault. What I'm saying,
did you say it?
No.
Okay, why don't you come back and clear that one up, Jim?
No, I wasn't. What I'm saying is we all have to decide how we're going to respond to people.
We do.
You know, and the responsibility of how I respond is mine, not yours. And how you respond is your responsibility, not mine. But let me put it this way. If I tell you that you look good with purple lipstick, you're going to think one of two things. You're either going to respond or you're going to react. Response says, wow, he noticed my lipstick. He, you know, and maybe I might say you don't look good in brown, you know, tan, okay? You can respond by saying that, well, he's a pretty nice guy. He's honest. You know, I don't like his answer, but, you know, his reaction, but that's fine. Or you can react. And reaction says, well, if he doesn't like my lipstick, what other terrible things is he thinking about me? You see what I'm saying? Now, when somebody says something to me, I have to decide, am I going to respond? If I don't like it, I can let it roll off me just as easily. Or am I going to react and say something nasty to them and put it on them or make it their fault? If I say to you, hey, beautiful, I'm not, you know, you can perceive that I'm either coming on to you or you can perceive that I'm just being kind and being gracious, you know, or, you know, that's the thing. I'm responsible for my responses and you're responsible for yours. And I was never trying to suggest that anything was your fault.
Understood.
Let me address the elephant in the room.
Clearing that up. Not to cut you guys off, but y'all, we are over an hour. This is so good, though. This has been amazing. So listen, let's do this. We're going to take a very quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to allow you all just 2 minutes. 2 minutes. My coaches, my preachers, my teachers, 2 minutes to let our viewers know what you have coming up and how to get in contact with you, okay? If you guys want to do this again, definitely reach out to me. I would love to have you back. This has been amazing. And guess what, you guys, what you have not been seeing, and this is why I love doing what I'm doing, is the behind the scenes. Like, they have been connecting and collaborating and getting each other's contact information behind the scene. And that's exactly why Keever's Place, the KeeverMurdaugh show and podcast is here, to be able to put people together, be able to join resources, be able to empower each other. And I'm so proud. You guys have done my heart so good tonight, because behind the scene, that's exactly what you have been doing. And I just truly believe that amazing things have been birthed out of our first guest reunion show tonight. So kudos and blessings to you all. Y'all just don't know how proud. I feel like a proud mama right now, but I'm just so excited. So let's go ahead and have a quick commercial break, and we're going to come right back and let our viewers know how to get in contact with you and also what you have coming up. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Hey everyone, this is Keisha Hill, transformational life coach and author of 30 Days of Different Ways to Love Me. You're currently watching Keever's Place, the KeeverMurdaugh show and podcast. Please stay tuned, so much more to come.
Hey guys, what's going on? What's going on? It's your man, Eric Zuley. I'm an international commercial Axe body spray star. I've done films. I'm on Amazon Prime right now, and I built my own social network platform. We have 300 million people that we reach on our network, and I'm a man of God. And I'm telling you right now, man, where do you need to be? Oh yeah, that's it. Keever's Place. You gotta go to Keever's Place. You gotta watch Keever's Place. You gotta hang out in Keever's Place. It's about Keever. You hang out in Keever's Place, the easy way.
Welcome back to Keever's Place, the KeeverMurdaugh show and podcast. If you are just joining us, we're having our very first guest reunion show, and it has been amazing. So if you have missed it, definitely go back and watch the replay. I'm telling you, it has been engaging, and I am loving every second of it. So we are going to allow all of our guests up to 2 minutes to be able to share what they have coming up and also how you can get in contact with them. So we're going to start with Eric Zuley right here. So Eric, let's let them know how to reach you.
Thank you, Keever. And I wasn't expecting you to put me up there on your commercial. And I remember when I did that, you took me back when you were on the show. But yeah, guys, I'm Eric Zuley. If you want to get in touch with us, if you want to shortcut your way to success by connecting with the best, that's us. You can text Easy Way, the letter E, letter Z, WAY, no spaces, to the number 55678, and it'll bring you to our social network community platform. We do reach a lot of people. We have people like Les Brown, Sharon Lecter, Kevin Sorbo, Bill Duke, on and on and on. They're all on our platform, and you can connect with people like that. I have a book called The Influence Effect. If you want to learn how to connect with people and turn your relationships to relationship equity, raised over, actually our company is at about 7 figures at this point, and I haven't even hit 40 yet. And so I teach people a lot about how to do that with the power of a microphone. And I do what you watch and hear. I help coach Kiever a little bit and updating the branding. And you saw that cool little logo reveal and stuff like that. We do all that stuff. So anything that you need from A to Z, forget that. It's not A to Z, it's E to Z. All right. So we look forward to hearing from you guys. And anybody that does text Easy Way to 55678, I'll give you guys a free ticket to our event with Laura Langmar, Omar Periu, and these amazing people on August 25th. All the information's on our Easy Way Wall of Fame. You click on the blog and you'll get more information. Thank you, Kiever, and thank you for having me on.
Love it. Thank you, Eric. Coach Keisha.
Thank you all. Thanks so much, Kiever. She Magazine, S.H.E. Magazine is for your everyday woman. Okay. I will be launching She Magazine on July the 20th. And the coaching experience show is now on the air with Kingdom Purpose TV starting July 21st. You can catch me on Wednesdays, 4 p to 4:30 p Eastern Standard Time. I am looking for guests. And also the Soul Care Experience Academy, where I speak with individuals about narcissistic abuse. And it's awareness and education platform. And thank you so much, Keith. I appreciate you.
Did you tell them how to get in contact with you, either through your website or social media?
Thank you, Kiefer. You all can contact me at TWAD as in dog E at openarmsconnection.com. That's my email, ARMS connection without an S. You can also text info to 601 area code 207-0791, or you can go to my Facebook page at Coaching Experience with the XXPERIENCE. Thanks for reminding me, Kiever.
Thank you so much. Dr. Vanessa Dunn Guyton, you up next.
How about I unmute myself? Hello, everyone. Our organization is called Hush No More. Our website is hushnomore.org. We support survivors of what we call the hush topics: sexual assault, domestic violence, sex trafficking, incest, child sexual abuse, all of those topics that communities and families have a hard time discussing. We do different events. On August the 7th, we have a college forum called Sex, Drugs, and Alcohol for all of those students that's going to college or already in college to provide awareness. We are also working on a Hush No More poetry book. If you are a survivor, you write poetry, go to our website. We would love for you to submit and participate in that. You don't have to be a survivor. You can just encourage a survivor and write your poetry from that perspective. And we also have a podcast. You can find us on Facebook tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you would like to be a guest, if you are a survivor that want to share their topic, if you are an advocate, or if you have a nonprofit organization, we would love for you to be a guest. You can find out more information on our website. Peace and blessings to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Vanessa. Kobi Martin is up next.
Okay, I was trying to remember to unmute myself. Hi, everybody. My name is Kobi Martin. I'm the founder of Innocent Voices Unsilenced. We're advocating for victims or survivors of sexual assault and abuse to have a voice when they believe that they don't have one. My daughter was unable to tell me about her abuse due to her disability. Well, I am her voice. We are working to get penal code laws changed to enhance punishments for these type of offenses. I I know that we won't be able to stop it, but we're taking strides and steps to bring a community together to talk about something that no one is talking about. We talk daily about sexual assault in the military, in Hollywood. We got Bill Cosby and the R. Kellys and the other actors all over the world that are doing this, but no one's talking about the things that are happening to some of the most vulnerable people in the world. So I thank you all for having us here. We're on all social media handles as Innocent Voices Unsilenced. Website www.innocentvoicesunsilenced.com. And you all have a great day. And don't forget to talk about it. Have those necessary conversations. Thank you.
Love it. Thank you so much, Kobi. Jeff Steinberg, you are next.
My message to you is you're a masterpiece in progress. God does not make any junk. And I'm a masterpiece in progress. I'm a singer. I am a keynote speaker. I am an entertainer, humorist, comedian. And you can contact me. I'm doing a fall tour starting in September through the middle of October, all the way up to the Northeast, all the way up to Maine, where I get to have lobster until I can just have no more. I am an author. I have a book called Masterpiece in Progress, which is my autobiography. And I have albums and CDs. You can contact me by visiting our website, Tiny Giant. That's TinyGiant, tinygiant.com. You can email us or contact us at booking, BOOKING, at tinygiant.com. Or you can call us, 901 area code 754-JEFF. Told the phone company I wanted a number that was as easy to remember as my name. I look forward to an opportunity to encourage, inspire, challenge your group, your audience, and help support your fundraising efforts, your goals. Contact me, visit me. There's no group too big or too small. We'll find a way to make it happen.
Love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Greatly appreciate you being here. Pastor Gerald C. Lewis.
All right. I just want to teach and help people turn on the light to see things that they can't unsee. My goal is to make people see the Bible differently and in a way that they will never unsee it. And because of that, the Lord put me on a pursuit in order to, write books. My first book was Elucidations, and my second book was God's Garden. And then following that, coming out later this year, in December timeframe, will be Son of God. And I just want to impact the world. I just want to change the way we see things, the way we do things, the way we are, and do it for the kingdom.
And how can they reach you?
Easiest way to reach me is through Facebook. I'm on Facebook 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you can find me at simply my name, and that's Gerald C. Lewis Sr.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate you being here. Miss Sonya Wilson-Bailey, you're up next.
Yes. My name is Sonya Wilson-Bailey. I am a life coach. I teach women that are broken that becoming whole is an inside job. I help them to renew their minds, rebuild their bodies, and restore their soul, through the word of God. And you can find me at Whole Women in Progress. That's my that's my website. My Facebook group is Whole Women in Progress as well. And I have an upcoming course, a 6-week course, Cultivating a New You, that starts on September the 15th of this year. And I'm just excited about helping women deal with all of the issues that we talked about, that these other ladies on this platform are already working on in that avenue as well. And I'm helping them deal with that past pain, that hurt, that trauma, whatever it is that they've encountered that they've covered up for decades and not dealt with. I'm that coach that's going to help them to deal with those issues of their lives as we go through this journey together. Thank you for allowing me to be on your platform tonight.
Thank you for being here. It's been such an honor to have you. Thank you so much. Miss Kymlah Burton.
Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
Pastor Gerald, we need to unite the light, brother.
Okay.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
All right. Since we talked about ButterCon magazine, if anyone, it offers a free platform for persons that like to share their stories, that would like writing experience, talking about what's on their mind. We talk about things such as money matters, hair story, shop talk. We talk about we have the Amen Corner, domestic violence, mental health, wellness, health. So it's a myriad of things that we cover in the magazine. And we also partner sometime with other organizations if they want to be featured for a special edition. Now, the next magazine does come out in October. It's no cost for anyone to write in the magazine. And we're always looking at writers throughout the United States and beyond. So anyone that has an interest in ButterCon magazine, you can reach me on Facebook at Kymlah Burton. We also have a ButterCon magazine page. We're on Instagram under ButterCon Mag, and we have a website, butterconmagazine.com.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And before we go, we had a couple people that fell off. We had Miss Doreen, Lettsome Reid. She has a Leaders Rising Confidence Tour coming up on next Thursday. You can find her on Facebook at Doreen Lettsome Reid. Miss Jaunique Mader, unfortunately, she was not able to get on. She was having some technical issues, but the best way to find her is on Instagram. So you can look her up, officially Jaunique, and that's officially Jaunique, or you can find her on Facebook at Jaunique Mader. You can find her there. And we also had Miss Kellina Powell. She is the deaf community advocate in Canada. So if you would like to find out more about the deaf community, definitely reach out to her. She's on Facebook and Instagram, Kellina Powell. So definitely find her there. This has been an amazing show. I just wanted to say thank you. Listen, I was not expecting for us to run as long as we did, but it was so good. You just cannot just
We lost her.
Yeah, we lost her.
Oh no.
We lost Kiever, so I guess I'm the new Kiever because I got put in her position. I'm in the Kiever box here. So I think Kiever was closing it up, but I want to say it was a pleasure. I call this the digital handshake effect, everybody. It was a pleasure meeting all you guys. I look forward to making a difference with everybody. And let's all thank Kiever for allowing us all to connect, and everybody out there that's watching. Definitely subscribe to the Keever's Place show. She's doing a lot of incredible things, and it's a very powerful and impactful platform for you and your business. So you should definitely make sure you contact her on Facebook, Instagram, the Wall of Fame, and try to get on the show, because you could be the next guest on Kiever's next reunion. Anybody else want to pop in? I can continue to go forever, but I'm giving everybody else the chance to. But hey, Kobi, I look forward to connecting with you. I'm just going to say, everybody, I look forward to connecting with and why. Kiever, are you there? I'm not. No, you're not. Okay, cool. So Kobi, I look forward to connect with you and your cause and what you're doing. It's so unbelievably important. Want to definitely talk to you behind the scenes. Coach Keisha, your magazine is incredible. Didn't know you had He magazine. We're definitely gonna talk. I wouldn't mind. I'm not gonna be mad at you if you put me on the cover of that one. And then my beautiful other half is perfect for She magazine. Pastor Gerald, I look forward to uniting the light with you, brother, and learning more about what you're doing. and Dr. Vanessa. I mean, I can see that you're a strong business and powerful woman, but you also got a sweet side of you. So I look forward to learning a little more about that sweet side.
Listen, I don't know what happened. Listen, I just
held it
moved
down
my
for you,
hand
Keever.
and it went blank. But Eric, thank you so much for just jumping right in there. I was like, you know what, devil, you are a liar. Anybody closing up my show but me.
I helped you with your show, so I knew how awesome it was. So I thought I'd just
I
tap him until I
appreciate that, Eric. Thank y'all so much, and you did a fabulous job. Thank you so much. Listen, guys. Like I said earlier, if you want to join us again, I would love to have a part 2 to this. This was amazing. Thank you so much for just gracing my stage once again and for doing exactly what Keever's Place was set up to do, and that is connect people. We're here to motivate, we're here to connect, and we're here to share. So thank y'all so much. Audience, I hope you have enjoyed our show tonight, except for the little technical difficulty towards the end of the show, but nevertheless, this is live TV, honey. It is what it is. So you guys are definitely welcome back anytime.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I actually do have to go. I love everybody. Thank you, Keever. Jeff and Buttercon Magazine and Sonya, I want to connect with you guys too. You're all awesome. God bless everybody. I'm Eric Zuley, and Keever rocks. Everybody stay on the count 3. 1, 2, 3. Keever rocks.
I love you.
Love you.
Thank y'all so much. Good night.
Yes. Good night, everybody. God bless.
Yeah, Kobi, get in touch with me.
Good night.
We'll see what we can do.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. Thank y'all so much for hanging in there for our first guest reunion show. Listen, you have an opportunity to be a guest on our show as well. So definitely go to our booking site at tinyurl.com/Keever's Place booking. Book your opportunity to be a guest on our show. We are now taking guests for season 3. So we're super excited. So definitely get yourself booked. Thank y'all so much for watching. It has been an honor and a pleasure. So until next time, family, let's continue to share, connect, and glow, because we understand that building your network also builds your net worth. So thank you again. I love you guys. Much peace and blessings. Good night.
Thank you for watching Keever's Place, the KeeverMurdaugh Show and Podcast. Tune in every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Keever's Place. To be a guest on our show, text the word guest to 803-368-3030 or visit us at tinyurl.com/Keever's Place Booking. And watch us on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire as we're broadcasting in more than 60 million homes worldwide.